Awesome. Well, thank you, Ruben, and hello, everyone. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 57. Today is September the 10th, a very, very special day that I'm sure everyone is going to be talking about. And happy Thursday to you all. We are live now on YouTube and Discord, and as you know, we're going to be answering your questions at the end of this Weekly Insider, and we have a lot of amazing news and updates for you. I'll welcome now, first of all, Spencer to give us the Helpdesk report.
Hello, everyone. Today's Helpdesk status is for Thursday, the 10th of September, 2020. Our customer satisfaction for the past 7 days was 4.4, an average of scale of 5.0 based on 23 user reviews. There were 195 Helpdesk issues in the last 7 days. ZenHub Faucet was responsible for 100 issues, our labels on the graphs. All other issues totaled 95. Faucet issues, there were VPN usage, payment issues, duplicated user IP addresses, other tickets on the help desk, Sphere by Horizen, Box Jump Game, Android Wallet. Languages preferences supported this week: English by non-native speakers, Russian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Indonesian. That concludes the report from the help desk.
Thank you, Spencer. We're starting a little bit different now, but now I'm going to welcome Luca to give us the engineering updates.
Okay, thank you, Angie, and sorry for joining late. So very excited about the webinar upcoming in about 1 hour, and so because of that today I'll keep it short. I'll just mention an update on memory leak, meaning the sidechain having the sidechain activities eating up so much RAM that eventually the process is killed. So the news I'm bringing today is that we just merged a fix for it on the SDK master branch. So feel free to check it out and build your sidechain. Also, please check the README. We have updated it, and it now contains a relevant environment variable to be set in order to make your sidechain run smoothly. In case you are curious or you just want more technical details, Albin wrote a very detailed post on Discord. So you find it on the dedicated channel for sidechains, the sidechain channel. And so that's great news. Thanks to all the people here that have worked on that and contributed to that. About all the other tasks, those are in progress, of course, and we will provide a detailed update on those on the next Weekly Insider. That's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar in case you are coming later. Thanks, Angie.
Thank you, Luca. Let's continue with Alan with the node updates.
Hello, everybody. Got a few little items here. There have been questions on whether single address staking has been deployed, and that has been deployed on supernodes, if anybody would like to use that feature. We have initial documentation on the stake tool has been added to our online documentation. During testing recently, we came across a bug that could cause some database inconsistencies, so we will be applying a patch over the next 24 hours to the tracking system servers, so there'll be some periods of unavailability. And final note on block intervals. They have increased slightly recently, pushing our block earning period to 6 a.m. And we are trying to get that back to about a 1 a.m. time. So for this next week, we have reduced the block count per earning period, and that will continue until we get it back to about a 1 a.m. target, and then we will adjust the block count again at the end of that week. That's it, Angie. Back to you.
Thank you, Alan. Let's continue with Jonathan for the growth updates.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Looking forward to joining the webinar as well. So for next week, we're looking to reinstall the instructions page for ZenHub, and that'll include new graphics, new images, a new layout, easier to navigate, and multiple language support. We're also continuing to fix very minor issues on the ZenHub after the release. You know, with such a big release, 3 huge new features, There's always going to be something that goes wrong. We fixed all the major issues immediately, and now we're fixing some of the smaller, more minor ones that don't impact performance. In terms of blocks jump, everything is flowing smoothly. We haven't had any issues since we implemented the new security features. Yeah, at least I personally haven't seen any complaints since then. And the next course of action in terms of games is we're currently working on implementing a leaderboard so that we can have weekly community competitions. And Blocks Jump will obviously be one of the games where users can compete and win some prizes. That's it for me. Gustavo, anything on your end?
Aside of your update, so I've been working with Marco on the Zendu Explorer. So what's a Zendu Explorer? Basically, it's the regular Explorer with the added functionality of the sidechains. So there will be a sidechain, like a live sidechain scroller, and it's going to have support for the sidechain type of transactions, which is the forward transfer and backwards transfer. So it's pretty much done. So we'll have one running on our Zendu testnet soon. So keep looking forward to that. And also super excited for the webinar in a few minutes. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Let's continue with Rowan for the BDO operations updates.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so like everybody else, super excited for the webinar today. So not going to take too much time here. Going to cut out most of the update and just issue an apology. So I teased a pretty big update last week, and I did it last week because I was fairly certain that we were going to push out the news this week. So my apology is that isn't going to happen, unfortunately. We've run into a couple of small hiccups that are going to extend the process just slightly. So the aim now is to announce that for next week. So I just want to apologize that I'm teasing news again. But I think the entire community and the entire team are going to be pretty excited when this one comes out. So that's it from me. Looking forward to the live stream, like I said. And Vano, if you want to jump in with anything, please feel free to do so.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Rowan. So the Blockchain UA 2020 conference in Ukraine, which has been delayed because of COVID-19 several times, has been scheduled for September 18th now in a hybrid online plus offline mode. And Roman Oleynikov will do the Zendu presentation for us since he has the chance to be at the conference in person. Also, people outside Ukraine can attend the conference remotely as well. Talking about conferences, attended the Festival of Learning conference by Real Vision last week, and it has been a great success, and I had a great opportunity to network with other attendees there as well. Also submitted the requested information to Uplog for review for their third-party review. That's all from me.
Thank you, guys. Let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, happy Thursday. Quick updates from me. As we all know by now, we are getting ready to start our first dev webinar, which will be in about 1 hour. So right now we have about 560 developers signed up. There are still new signups coming in as we speak. So if you are a guest, make sure to be there on time. Since it's a technical webinar, it will be a lot easier to follow from the start. And it starts at 5 p.m. Universal Time or 1 p.m. US Eastern Time. And lastly, we are also working on several partnership announcements that are coming out very soon. I'm sure our community will be very excited about them, so stay tuned. That's it from me.
Thank you, Lucy. Rolf, is there anything you would like to add? Any comments or updates?
Just that I'm very excited for the webinar and for the steady progress that we're making for bringing developers on and being able to have developers build their own sidechains. I think our model is really neat, and our we have consistently done exactly what we've said we're going to do. So we're a team that all these developers should trust and realize that when we say we're going to do something, we do it, and we do it the right way. So I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing a lot of signups.
Awesome. Thank you, Rolf. And now let's move on with Rob for the final part.
Thank you, Angie. And guys, if you couldn't tell, we're going at a faster pace tempo for this team call because we do have the webinar starting. So the developer webinar starts at 12:30 Eastern Time. I'll just keep repeating that because if you're following this and you're interested in the technology, please join. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a big picture overview from Alberto about Zendu, the technology, and then Alexander is going to walk you through actually the SDK and how you can modify the SDK with your own logic to deploy your own blockchain. I want to also give a big thank you to Michael on Telegram just for a private message he sent me, and it just came at the perfect time. So let me quickly read it. It says, I just want you to know that there are also many of us who are still fully behind you and the team. We often hear or focus on negative feedback, and it can be easy to forget the positive support that exists behind the scenes. I really believe in what you and the team are doing, and I'm supporting in my small way of running secure nodes, which I've been adding to recently. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm as excited as ever for the future of the project. And Michael, I can tell you, I've never been more excited for the future of Horizen as well. And this is just a perfect time to be part of the project. And thank you so much for that. Just quick message they sent me. It meant a lot. So the big thing on my agenda for what we're doing to really catalyze the work that we're doing is we've mentioned before, we're carving out this product team, and we're getting the product team to be just super proficient at deploying blockchains using the SDK. Real simple, not fancy, just take the SDK and deploy blockchains. And we want to get really good at it. So we're going to be treating this like a blockchain factory or we're like a sports team that just needs to focus on constantly improving how we're going to do it. So the threshold that I'd like to set is I would like the team to be able to deploy a blockchain for some use case within a week. And that includes supporting infrastructure, Explorer, wallet, anything that we need to do to give the user some level of experience that we can define. And then I want to get better at that. So it's going to start with this threshold requirement of deploy a blockchain and its accompanying ecosystem in a week. And then I want to get it better and better so that we can deploy sooner and sooner. And especially as we get this, call it like an assembly line process of deploying a blockchain really squared away and we get really good at it, we're going to see over time just the types of use cases that people ask us to deploy are going to have similarities, and that will make our deployment even more efficient. Another big part of this is to think of it as a specialized team that will also be training other teams to become proficient at deploying blockchains with their SDK. And again, you're going to hear a lot about deploying blockchains. That's what we're in the business of, is deploying blockchains, and we're just going to get really good at it and just keep it simple. And this team will be hammering away at deploying blockchains. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We already have a very nice backlog of design partners and early clients and partners that want to work with us. And we had a great kickoff call, a technical kickoff call this morning with one that we are crafting the press release for now that Lucy alluded to. We've been mentioning this for some weeks now that we're partnering with this very prominent CeFi project out there, and could not be more excited and proud to work with them to provide additional layer of trust and transparency for their application, for their users, using our technology. So we're going to focus hard on this real first partnership, with our sidechain and deploy it quickly. So we want a quick win on this that just adds a ton of value to both ecosystems, and it's the start. So from here, we already have a backlog of other clients and design partners we'll be powering through, and the team's also going to be putting together a list of basically our own pipeline of internal use cases and things that we want to see, things that we know the ecosystem needs, like a tokenization platform and so forth. We're going to put these together, and once the team is fully operational, and whenever we have a gap in between working with high value partnerships, we're going to be knocking out some of these other internal use cases, and just expect a stream of just new blockchains being launched. And yes, I'm calling them blockchains instead of sidechains because technically they are sidechains, but really we're just in the business of deploying blockchains. They happen to be interoperable with our main chain, and that's awesome because it comes with functionality, security, and all of these other benefits. But really, at the end of the day, we're creating this blockchain factory, and we're going to get really good at it. So the team that Rosario is heading up, I'll just repeat it again, includes Maurizio. It was absolutely critical to just the high-level engineering and kind of designing of these client partner chains. Paolo is going to be doing heavy lifting on the engineering side with Marco. Luca is going to be on the team, basically bridging it with the engineering team. And Luigi is going to be a critical part of this, of quickly, efficiently spinning up supporting infrastructure. Gustavo is going to be providing support, just kind of an advisory UX role, helping us curate that list of internal use cases. And Horizen Labs is really, I would say Horizen Labs and ZBF are partnering on this effort because Horizen Labs is opening some new job openings for positions on this team. The first one that we opened up yesterday is for an SDK API product manager, someone with a deep technical background who has experience either from computer science, software development themselves, but specifically deploying SDKs and API-like products in the past, because that's exactly what our SDK is. It's a product, and we want to get it as amazing as possible to service the market that we want it to. From there, we're going to be hiring some other Java devs and front-end devs, and really just putting together a pretty kick-ass team here to just be super efficient. Let's see what else. Really, that's probably the important thing I want to highlight today, because expect some more from this, especially with the PR that's going to come out on the first partner use case that we're already working on. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a lot of rapid deployments and quick wins, which I think is exactly what we need right now. And in the meantime, we're continuing the heavy R&D and engineering of really that core tech that differentiates us as a community. But in the meantime, we're going to be pushing hard on real-time delivery of blockchains. So that's it, guys. I'll open it here to questions. We do have, surprisingly, 12 minutes before the end of this call officially. So we do have some time for questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. So the first question is, do you have why people should build on Horizen document? Can we see it?
That's a really good one. So first of all, our website should be conveying this message, and we should have a ton of content for it. But let's take the action to just get better at it. The fact that the question is being asked means that we're probably not providing the answer on just our front-facing stuff. So we'll take the action, and we will make sure that you guys have exactly that. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. The second question says, could you explain the fall of FCAT index score of Zen this month? Is it related to the price?
So price, no. So we don't know exactly. Let me just throw that out there. We do have some ideas and some guesses, and we've been discussing this internally. I do think that it's probably more of a structural shift in the industry, because the entire industry is exploding on the DeFi side, where you're just seeing a ton of new user activity on these DeFi products. And I think the FCAT system itself is a relative ranking system. So it looks at relative activity on chains and so forth. So when you have some new projects that are just garnering a ton of attention right now and exploding on just this preliminary usage, I think just naturally you're going to see this relative shift. Other than that, I don't know if anyone else, Rowan, maybe you're probably the best person to speak to this if there's anything I'm missing out. And that's fine. We can, I'll just wrap it up by saying it's something that we're paying attention to. I believe it's a structural relative thing with explosion of another sector of the industry. But we are, obviously beefing up everything that we do, everything from user activity to developer activity, and you're just going to see a ton more of it. So one thing that I did mention is we are looking for this developer evangelist role to catalyze our open source developer community on the foundation side. I think this itself will be so key for getting a broad cross-section of developer participation in our GitHub repositories. And this should have a very beneficial effect, along with the massive amounts of code that just our core engineering team is consistently delivering and has so much more to deliver on getting Zendoo into production. So I don't look at it as something that should be absolutely shocking to us, because we are on it, and I think we're kind of firing on all cylinders in the right directions.
Okay, the third question says, do we have a comparison chart between us and our competitors?
Another awesome question. So I really like this, and let's put it together, because so yes, we had in the past, from when we launched up until other variable frequencies throughout our lifespan so far. But the competitive market has changed so much, and we've just recently done a deep competitive analysis, in particular for Horizen Labs. So we have a lot more data now that I would like to synthesize. So that's another great one where we'll take the action and put something together that I think will be pretty meaningful and more relevant given the current state of the industry. So great question, thank you.
Rob, can I leverage on top of that just to to add, so we've talked about what we're seeing in the industry, and we're seeing a lot of side chains that are almost replications of the main chain, because the main chain has to know what the side chain is doing, so it can just do transactions. And then we're seeing people develop different blockchains and then working to tie them to the main chain. I think we're one of the leaders in having the scalability of side chains that can do just about anything with tying them to the main chain. So really the recursive ZK Snark cross-chain transfer protocol is the key to all these different things. Even though the sidechain can be very different models, as long as it meets the cross-chain transfer protocol, I think our Lattice sidechain is a really good starting sidechain to use, or the Zendu sidechain is a really good starting sidechain to use for the SDK and for all the different examples. So I think we're in the lead on a number of these things, is my feel with the big picture on that. Do you concur?
Rolf, that's such a good point. And I think even better than us talking about it, we're about to have a whole bunch of blockchains hitting our ecosystem. Now, granted, they will be on our sidechain testnet in the meantime, but you're going to see exactly the power of this technology in very short order.
Okay, so those were the top 3 questions. Thank you everyone for attending our Horizen Weekly Insider. Remember, we do this every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. UTC. And well, very, very excited for what's about to happen. Thank you everyone, and see you all very, very soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.